Yeah, so I'm really talking about, my injury issue and also, because of my issue, I just visited a doctor, right? So I think I've been talking about, my injury issue, for the past few years, but now, because it gets serious and I'm not recovering properly, so I have to go get help, from the doctor. I have to go get some suggestion like how to do this, how to do that. I know that playing sport, is very risky. You are most likely gonna get injured if you're not careful. And this is what happened to me. So you wanted okay, so before I talk about the doctor and how I went through all that drama, all that things, that I have gone through, you wanna like how did you end up in injury state, right? So if people don't understand, or people may know, like how I get injured, but some people who are new or who have never heard this problem before, I'm gonna explain you like how did I went through injuries, right? So obviously I run a lot, right? So that means I'm injured my leg. That's correct. So specifically my thigh, has been having a problem for like many months now, and I try to rest, I try and take care of it. I did everything correctly, and the problem is still not going away. And I don't know why. And this is why I have to go visit the doctor, right? So how did you injure your leg if you run? I mean, obviously overdoing it or underdoing it, will destroy your body. But right now I'm overdoing it. Why do I keep running too much? You know, sometimes it's an idiot question, and sometimes I just don't know my limits sometimes too. So yeah, this time I went over limit because I'm just getting too obsessed of like beating my record all the time because I want to show people that I'm a robot. I am tough. I become a little more cockier than usual. Throughout the year because let's just go back a few years back. I was pretty humble, but then I do have problems every single year. But now, as the year progressed, like once we get into like, you know, in the 2020s or once we get even, in 2021, like I've been acting extremely cocky, right? Talking all that crap. Say, oh, I'm invincible. I can beat you easily. I can beat my record easily. And all that stuff. I keep running, like making crazy amount of accomplishments. Show people that they cannot do this. They cannot do that. I show that I am way better than them. Bruh, man. I mean, if you try so hard in sport, try to injure yourself, there's a consequence in life. I mean, not only I go through pain, you're gonna have to endure lots of pain, and also you have to go through this and that. And also, like, yeah, not only cockiness, that wants me to beat my record, I just get obsessed with it because I know I know at the end of the day, people always want to get to their goals, like sooner rather than later, so that way they can take off this heavy stress or load in their life, so they can enjoy the rest of their life, living peacefully. I know that life is too short, to make accomplishments. I know that taking accomplishment does take a lots of time and effort and patience. Some people are too impatient. They just want to go red line and also sacrifice and go make accomplishment. That's not what you want. You have to be patient, or else you're only going to make it longer and you put even more stress. I know that taking risks in life can sometimes be a backfire, but sometimes can be good. It's just a risk, and I don't think I should be in this type of situation, right? Yeah, so as of 2022 is probably the last year of my running. I mean, not last year running, but talk about last year when I was normal. So I think I started notice like when I start toning, my muscle, and that's when I start feeling pain all the time. Every time I finish my running, doing tempo runs or hard runs, like I just feel like that little giant pinching thing, like pinch, and also the cramp, the muscle just like twitch itself. So this is exactly what happened to me, you know, right? Yeah, so now when I start running, like I couldn't even run for like 1 mile. Talk about the last few weeks. And so like I started like getting constantly cramping, and and it's very hard to walk. And also, it's impossible, to drive around because I sometimes go to places my leg is cramped, all of a sudden, and now, I can barely walk. Like, I always, about to call an emergency. That's how much of a painful it is, having that the leg cramp on my thigh. Yeah, I mean, leg cramp on the calf is not as severe as the thigh because the thigh is like very important. It's like a much bigger part of your legs, your thigh is way bigger than your calves, and if that's injured, then it can take a really long time to heal. I mean, everybody knows that, right? Even the doctor says it too. So there's a reason why. So let me go back to a month ago. So a month ago, I visited the doctor. I explained that I have this problem, this problem. He said, do some stretching, get, supplement that can help the leg, like magnesium or something. And I followed his advice, and that didn't work. I went through, get some blood tests and stuff. I'm like, everything is just normal. Even do my urine test, everything is just normal. Last year, and then coming to this year, I've been having this leg cramp for a month, and then the problem did not go away. That's what happened. And then the problem gets worse and worse, so let me talk about, what happened at Amazon. So I know that my legs are getting, feeling a lot more sore and, tired, way more tired than, usual, which is, strange in kind of way, because that's something not normal. I mean, at Amazon, just last week, I just, like pushed the cart, right? As everyone does. When you push the cart, it doesn't hurt your leg, but then it does, use a lot of muscle. But then when I push the cart, I start, straining my leg. And all of a sudden, I cannot walk anymore. So I had the VTO, I only stay at Amazon for like 2 hours. It is, scheduled for me to stay there for 4 hours, but then, I left Amazon. I mean, that's what happened. I mean, I told you this before, but I repeat the story again. So, yeah, my supervisor knows that I've been limping. I say my thigh really hurts. I don't think I can work anymore. So I have the VTO to avoid getting attendance points. And then driving home was very difficult. Even just staying like 5 minutes car. I mean, from my workplace to the home, it's really, from my destination, is really not that far. So that's why I don't have to drive a lot. So yeah, and also I have not done anything for the past 2 days, and Monday, I came into work, and then, like a few hours later, my leg and my heart rate was like really high. It went above 100 beats per minute. My usual resting heart rate is like 60 at max, usually 50. It's like double the resting heart rate, which is not normal, just sitting like this, and, doing paperwork and stuff. This is something not normal, so I have to go home and rest, lie down. And when I look at my thigh, like, it looks so humongous. It's like a huge like lump, and I feel like my leg is about to pop. And I was like complaining, and also screaming, and much in my pain in my head, and it was painful. And I asked my mom, go to the doctor, and she said, oh yeah, and then she just drove me to the doctor. I even, almost called an emergency, one time. I'm not gonna lie to you this, but it was a lot painful, On Monday, I was sleeping right on bed, and then, and then I went to visit the doctor again, and also I was impatient, and I just wanted my turn. But man, fighting through pain and also waiting for the doctor to come, it's like, look, man, you never want to visit your doctor or visit the hospital, because sometimes the wait could be long, especially if you don't schedule it. Because I didn't schedule it because something unpredictably this happened, and I didn't think it's gonna happen. I thought like, oh, I'm just at home, like, oh, it's just some sore muscle. It'll be a few days. It'll be gone. But if you torn a muscle, it's gonna take like a lots of time to recover. And sometimes you don't even know how to recover, and that's what is wrong with me. I don't know how to recover these, injured muscles, so I have to go visit the doctor. And they did the blood test and everything, and they record all my pressure. They said, yeah, my heart rate is a little higher than usual. The blood test is, everything is normal. So because they saw swelling my leg now, they scheduled me to visit another doctor, that is expert in the muscles, right? So I went to, visit another doctor, and also in a different building, and he said that, I don't have, any, he does not seem have like any issues so far. He said I don't have autoimmune disease. You know what autoimmune disease is? Sorry if I have trouble saying it, but it's like, you know, your body attacks yourself, and that's not what I have. Because, you know, I'm really healthy, you know. You can tell that I look healthy in general, you know, like, yeah, there's no way, you know, your body's attacking yourself. Because if it did, I would be in a much more severe pain, and that's life-threatening to me. He said everything is just like normal, and also, you know, the doctor just wrote me a note saying that I won't be able to, you know, do regular task work for 3 days. Just even a simple, you know, like, you know, table work, you know, just working on a desk and just doing some, you know, some paperwork. He said doc said that I won't be able, you know, to you know, go back to work in 3 days, and 3 days has passed by, and I try to walk normal. I get up out of my bed. I should not be, you know, lying down all the time. I mean, you're supposed to get rest. I mean, but you need to walk around to circulate your blood. That's what, you know, I was recommended. I did follow every single instruction, and somehow the problem is not going away. And that is another thing. The problem doesn't go away. And I follow every single advice, and so, you know, so I think Monday is when I got off work, so 3 days unable to work. That means I should be go back to work on Friday. So on Friday I went back to work again, driving in my car, and, you know, everything's like normal. And then the minute I walk out of my car, like, I'm start limping again, and my heart rate just goes up. And usually when I walk, usually my heart rate stays, you know, like within, you know, 110. I say 120 at worst, but somehow, you know, I just barely use my muscle, and somehow my heart rate went up to like 136 beats per minute. Sometimes to track my heart rate to see, you know, what's wrong with my body, even just, you know, moving just a little bit can cause, you know, the heart rate to drastically to increase, and that's now I know when I have a problem. So I go message the doctor again, you know, telling me, like, say, oh, you know, like, I listened to your advice, you know, like, this solution ain't working, you know, I rest, I do this and do that. I take the Absent gel to reduce my inflammation on my leg. I mean, whenever inflammation on my leg, that's one thing I forgot to tell you, that I use this thing to reduce inflammation. Just in case if you have inflammation like I do, you need to use this, you know, to recover quickly and feel less pain. So I listened to the doctor, and he said that, you know, the inflammation is not going away. The pain is still there on my legs. You know, and so, you know, the doctor suggests me to get the MRI, you know, thing, so he can check my muscle, because he's an expert in muscle. He needs to use MRI to see what is wrong with my leg. Okay, so because he talked about MRI, the MRI, you'll scan for stuff, something like that, because now, you know, like, we have to solution my solution, and if this solution doesn't work, then we have to go, you know, with the better solution. I mean, the doctor was about to, you know, send me to a therapy, but I don't think that's gonna work. So when he looked at the scan, he'll see what's the real problem is. That's where the real red flag is. So yeah, so far he did every single test on me. He did like all the simple tests, and there's just no red flag, which is good. Right? The doctor doesn't even know what is wrong with me, right? And so, you know, this is actually the consequences of, like, you know, overtraining yourself in sport, because now you're going to be out for months, and now, you know, you won't be the same as ever. Injuries are the worst thing that comes to sport, aside from, you know, sickness or etc. Injuries can permanently end your career. It is that powerful, or it can, you know, even end a person's life, or it can, you know, make a person disabled for the rest of their life. Permanent damage. Like, this is real, man. Like, this is straight facts. You can look it up on the internet and stuff. Like, every single people will tell you in sport, like, they were injured and they feel a very powerful pain, and you have to endure it, not just only days, but it can take like months or even years. So yeah, I fully regret, you know, what I've done in the past, but I should not look too much in the past, because it already happened. I cannot change it. You have to learn how to move on. And this is what happened. Now, you know, I really stressed myself out, and maybe this would teach me, you know, to stop being the old Vince, right? I try to keep proving you know, these idiots wrong, you know, like, oh, Ovis, I'll do this, I do that, I act, cocky, I think that I try to do way more things that I can think I can handle, and oh boy, like, I ended up like this. Some people may not feel sorry for me, some people will feel sorry for me. Well, it depends like who you are and what do you think of me, right? Yeah, so once I get the MRI, appointment, with the doctor, and I will give you more updates, about my legs and stuff and how long it'll be out. So what happened, by injuries? Like, how are you gonna work at Amazon now, saying that your leg is technically injured? Well, I have to contact, the HR department. If you cannot work for some reason, or if the injuries didn't happen on site, because my injury didn't happen on site, it's been, lingering with me, for like, months. You have to contact HR. You have to let them know, you have to show the doctors know, you have to do like everything they said, and they will give you a time off. So far Amazon's giving me time off from, from the end of January to all the way up to like mid-February. So if things go well, then I have to, get more accommodation, right? Yeah, I have to tell all my boss and employees. It's just a lots of headache. But I'm pretty sure people went through way worse situation than I am. Like, I couldn't even drive. I have to get my mom to drive me to the doctor because I don't think I can drive safely. I mean, if your legs are injured, it's very dangerous to drive. It is very, very dangerous. And you will, yeah, because now, like your legs could not, move, and you're going to be stuck out of nowhere. And this is the scary part of having a very crampy leg. Well, sore leg is okay, but a cramped leg, like whether your calves are cramped or your thighs cramped or both are cramped, you won't be able to drive. I promise you that. Like, driving is like very impossible, and you have to definitely concentrate really hard. And that pain is really a distraction. I have to stay inside the house, like a lot, and which is not good for me because I get lack of vitamin D's and stuff. I have to lie down in bed helping my injuries go away. Sometimes my leg just get cramped like on and off. I get scared. Every time I walk, I get scared when I walk. It's because my leg could get cramped at any moment. Even staying for 1 minute, my legs already feel tired. My thighs, right? If you notice that your thigh really puff up and you feel hurt, that's when you never want to pump your muscle, because that can permanently damage you. That's the scary thing about part. So I didn't think this situation is going to be this bad. Like I said, man, you live in the life, you don't know what's going to happen in the future. It remains mysterious. Anything can happen to you. This is what I learned. You think this can never happen? You think this severity can never happen? It can happen to anyone at any time. You don't know it. So don't assume that, like, this can never happen to you. It can, if you're not careful in life. This is why, you need to be careful what you do, man. You have to be careful. You have to say consequences. You have to stay humble, man. This is the lesson learned, right? Yeah, this is the one thing, that I just learned, just today, right? So yeah, so now, like, once, my problem when resolved, then I'll go on the medication and all that stuff, right? Yeah, so I can tell you like what kind of muscle problem I have. So I'm guessing that I have muscle spasm. I'm not 100% completely sure, so don't quote me on that. Don't quote me. I could be wrong. But once the doctor identifies my problem, then he'll tell me the real problem, right? You can guess like what kind of muscle problem I have because I describe you all that stuff. I could have Charlie horseplay. Charlie horseplays mean a strain of muscle that doesn't go away. But some other injuries that I may not know because I'm just lack of vocabulary word, I'm autistic, But yeah, this is just, this injury that I'm going through, I will probably remember this for the rest of my life. I remember that I have, cramps, problem, in the past, but this is the most pain I ever felt in my life, But I should not act like I went through the toughest obstacle I ever went through. I should not act like you're stupidly delusional, right? Look, man, I don't want to have to bring this back up, but this is sad, but, you know, I know that there's somebody who went through pain way more severe than I did, right? And it happened for 23 years. His name is Uncle Dewey, right? You know that, okay, if you don't know who he is, you know, it's a little off topic, but he suffered his half paralyzed injuries for like about 23 years, you know, for the rest of his life, you know, once he's, you know, half paralyzed. How he got half paralyzed? Because he got a stroke from just, you know, not exercising and eating way too much and just, you know, sleep and do nothing all day. He's just very inactive, you know, when it comes to his body. He doesn't, you know, exercise. That's one problem. The thing is that I'm opposite of my uncle, you know, who just passed away last year. I'm doing way too much running, way too much stuff. I hope I don't get that. I hope I do not end up being like him, because if you end up being like him, you're going to be on a wheelchair, you won't live very long, and you won't enjoy your life anymore. That's not what you want. That's not what I want. Because if I end up being like half paralyzed or being handicapped in a wheelchair, then you're going to see me like this rest of my life, and a lot of people are going to unsubscribe because now I cannot do anything, you know, being disabled. And now, you know, because I'm struggling in life because of my injury, now I'm currently struggling. Now I talk to this YouTube. Now, you know, like all my recognition and all that, you know, accomplishment that I've done will probably disappear. People will not recognize me anymore. They don't even recognize me as a greatness anymore. So that can be a problem. Like I try to get popular, I try to get a lot of attention, but now, you know, that's about, you know, to diminish, you know, once the injuries is here. Because some people, you know, who are not loyal to me on my YouTube channel, who are not stay loyal, they will probably, you know, lose interest in me, because now they see you got injured, like, oh, he can't do anything, right? And recovery stinking sucks. It is definitely getting worse than, you know, sick, because sick you can be, you know, out for maybe like weeks, like couple weeks, but this can, you know, change my life, right? And so if this keeps happening, I will never be the same as I was yesterday. I promise you that. I promise you my attitude is going to change a lot. And in a much more, you know, better way, right? So yeah, man. So yeah, I know there's a lot of people that don't like me. Look, man, if you see me suffering, you know, through pain, and you see me suffering through injury, and if you make fun of people that you dislike with injuries, you are sick, bro. You are very sick. And I hate it when people make fun of, you know, other people's injuries or wishing them injuries and stuff like that. That is the ovens, man. This is the part where it pisses me off the most, or piss people off the most. Just imagine if you were injured. If you wish me injury and I suffer this, I wish you injured. And guess how you feel? You won't even stand a chance against that pain, right? You even complain. You won't even handle a day of it. Some people have to go through it for years, or for the rest of their life, or from the time they were born, right? I've been dealing with, you know, this issue, you know, my mental issue, you know, having autism for the rest of my life. It will stay there, remainly. There's no cure for it. So yeah, man. So yeah, don't be happy, man, if somebody is injured, right? I know that I'm not popular, but just want to let people know, you know, that if you see someone not feeling good, or if they're feeling injured, or they're going through pain, you say, I wish you the best, you know. Say, I feel sorry for you, you know, right? Or if you know, if a person injured, say you don't care, or just ignore them, you know, but just don't muck at them, man. Right? Because one day you could be injured. You don't know when. You don't know how. Sometimes you try to avoid it, but you got it. Right? Or some people even become a real dummies out there, you know. Got it, right? Look, man, in sport, you cannot act cocky, because anything can happen to you. There are person, you know, that makes way less accomplishment, somehow they can beat you, and that's how you get embarrassed, right? Injuries, you know, and people beat you, you get embarrassed at the end of the day. So that's a quick note I want to talk about. So anyway, you know, like, that's the one thing I hate when you visit a doctor. Not only it wastes a lot of time, it's gonna cost a lot of money, and now, you know, use a lot of, you know, monies and opportunity, you know, to make money, right? Called opportunity cost. I mean, you could have worked there, you know, instead of you going to, you know, doctor, or, you know, some unnecessary stuff to treat your injuries, right? You just waste that much time. So I just have lost a lot of money, you know, out of my pockets, right? So yeah, this is just a one-time thing. I mean, it's okay to make mistakes in life, but just try not to do it again, right? Do it once, but don't do it twice. You can make big mistake. Sometimes I will, you know, tell people, you know, they need to change, or else they will never get better, or they will stuck being this way forever, right? But yeah, man. But yeah, because once it's 2023, you know, like, I probably try not to be the same as I was in 2022, like the same old me again that did something wrong. So I want you to peace out here, and thank you for watching this video, and bye bye.